Our next 1 o'clock matchup is between Arizona and Minnesota, playing in a dome at the Mall of America field. So weather, again, is not an issue. We're in a dome. Who do you like? What do you think is going to happen? Who's going to come out on top?
This game is a soap opera if I've ever seen one.
Wow.
This Brett Favre with 2 broken chips in his ankle, now his arm hurting. He took a devastating hit in that game. I know they're going to start him. I know he's the story. Minnesota 2-5, Arizona 4-4. I don't think Arizona's any good at all. The Cardinals have been winning with their defense. In fact, one of the games they won with all defensive touchdowns, first time it's happened in a long time. Injuries for the Cardinals, which beat Clark Hagens, which is no big deal, a linebacker. Minnesota's injuries, Percy Harvin. Now, he didn't practice, and that's bad. He's their go-to guy now that Randy Moss is gone. They need Percy Harvin. They need Bernard Berrian to step up in this game, and they need a big game out of Adrian Peterson. With the defense that Arizona has, Peterson, fantasy lovers, he'll have a big, big game in this game here. Hightower's the running back for Arizona. Not a bad player, Hightower here. He's averaging 5 yards per rush, close to 300 yards on 53 carries. He scored 2 touchdowns. Beanie Wells is also in that backfield. They'll split time. 69 carries, 233 in yards, 3.4 average, which is not so good, but 2 touchdowns also. The guy who's going to try to make the difference will be Larry Fitzgerald. This guy's a great wide receiver. He has 35 receptions and 403 yards. He's averaging 11.5 yards a catch and 4 touchdowns. Look for the Cardinals to get him involved in a big way. Also, Steve Preston is back, so he can be on the other side. They got this Forsett. He's their other wide receiver. Now, this is where I have trouble with this game, is with Max Hall or Derek Anderson going to start this game now. He got relieved last week. Derek Anderson came in for Max Hall out of BYU, and he didn't do very well at all. Minnesota, boy, they need a victory in the worst way here. Childress' job's definitely on the line. With all the hoopla and all the nonsense, Andrea, with going on in this game with Brett Favre. I mean,
right.
Everybody knows he's in his 20th season. He has 292 straight games he started in. Gigantic record. Peyton Manning is behind him. He is 126 for 211 with 1,450 yards, 7 touchdowns. Peterson averaging 4.7 a carry, has 6 touchdowns, leads the league in rushing with 776 yards. Sinchko is the tight end. He's going to be their go-to guy because there's really no one else to go to. He has 20 receptions, 265 yards, averaging 13 yards of reception, and 1 touchdown. I got to think that the Vikings are going to break out in this game in a big way and take it out on the Cardinals. They need a victory in the worst way, and I really think I think it's going to be Minnesota there, Andrea. I really do. I think it will be Minnesota for the simple fact is they need to win really bad, and they do have some decent players, and guess what? You might get 8-8, 9-7, and get in the playoffs. So even though they're 2-5, they still have a shot in the playoffs. Minnesota's 8. They're 8-point favorites in that game. That's a lot of points to give up. The Lions telling me something. The Lions saying that I like Minnesota and lay the 8 against the Arizona Cardinals. 4-4 versus 2-5, 8-point favorites, and you're 2-5. The Lions telling you take the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, there you go. Artie says Minnesota. And just to recap for our viewers, fantasy players, you mentioned Peterson for Arizona.
Peterson for Minnesota, not Arizona, but that's okay. Peterson for Minnesota. He's going to have a pretty big game here. I mean, they're going to really want to run the ball. Favre, he might do something. I believe if you get Bernard Berrian in there somewhere, he's going to help you in your fantasy leagues. He's definitely going to help you. For the Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald, Beanie Wells, Tim Hightower. And as I said, Max Hall probably gets a start, or Derek Anderson. They throw a lot of interceptions. They're not efficient quarterbacks. That's why they're 8-point favorites, Minnesota, because of their quarterback situation. As a free pick, in this week in college, I'm going to give you the Oregon Ducks, the #1 team in the nation. Lay to 35. It's a lot of points. In Washington, lay it. They're going to put up 60. Guarantee it.
Artie has spoken. There you have it.